Hey, everybody. Welcome to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, Jack Hammer. Jumping on really quick, the 49ers with some breaking news. A big day for the 49ers, making a trade. This wasn't expected at all in terms of the trade, the player who they traded for. The San Francisco 49ers, according to reports from multiple sources, have made a trade for outside linebacker Randy Gregory from the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver is sending Gregory and a 2024 7th-round pick to San Francisco in exchange for a 2024 6th-round pick. So basically just a pick swap between the 49ers and Gregory. The reason I say this is a change of plans is because originally the Broncos there had been reports that they were going to be releasing Randy Gregory, eating the rest of his contract, and so on and so forth. Now, when you look at it, Randy Gregory this season has a remaining salary of $10.89 million. And according to Mike Kliss out of Denver, the Broncos will be paying a portion of Gregory's remaining $10.89 million salary in order to facilitate that trade. How much of a portion of that, we're not sure, but I would expect that that's probably going to be a pretty high portion of it, considering that if the 49ers had not pulled off this trade, that the Denver Broncos would be completely on the hook for that. So we'll get more details as they become available. Denver, like I said, was planning to release Gregory if they couldn't find a trade partner for the team. That had already been reported. But here you go, Gregory, 30 years old, a former second-round pick of the Cowboys back in 2015. He was entering the final year of his four-year contract that he signed when he left the Cowboys. You look at him, the Cowboys had thought they had an extension with Gregory. That deal fell through. He ended up in Denver with a 5-year, $70 million contract instead. And on top of that, you look at Gregory's performance and the fact, again, this was kind of an unexpected development. But Randy Gregory is a guy who's been productive when he's been on the field. He hasn't been on the field all that much, though, in his NFL career. Gregory has played so far through 7 years in the NFL. This is his 7th season in the NFL. He has played just 1,818 total snaps in his career. The most that he's played in any season, 457 back in 2018. He also played close to that, 437 back in 2021. So Gregory is a guy who's missed a lot of time due to injury, but when he's been healthy, he's been solid. In that 2018 season with Dallas, when he played 457 snaps, he recorded 6 sacks. Then in 2021, when he played 437 snaps, another 6 sacks for Randy Gregory, a guy that's been able to do a good job of getting after the quarterback and putting pressure on the quarterback in his time in the NFL, again, when he's been healthy. You look at his numbers overall in terms of sacks and hits and so on. When it comes to Randy Gregory, he, in his 7-year career, 19 and a half sacks. He has 16 and a half of those coming in 5 years with Dallas, just three, since joining the Denver Broncos. When you look at it beyond the sack totals, 52 quarterback hits for Gregory during his time with Dallas, 9 with Denver for a total of 61. This is a different situation in San Francisco, though. He's not going to be expected to be the main guy. He's going to be a secondary piece for the San Francisco 49ers, who already have Nick Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, coming off of one side. And then they have some really good interior pass rush with Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead. 49ers just looking to improve their rush off the other side. And so the 49ers bring in Randy Gregory. And Gregory, again, this is an interesting one. I just got off a stream not too long ago with Larry Kruger. And this question was asked, should the 49ers trade for Randy Gregory? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, make a move or sign him. At the time, I didn't realize that he had been traded or was still a member of the Denver Broncos. I thought the 49ers would just be signing him. And I said, sure, go ahead, take a flyer on him. And that's basically what the 49ers have done here, especially if they're going to be able to get the Denver Broncos to pay for the majority of this salary. Why not take a flyer on the guy, see what you can get out of him, see if he can improve your pass rush. I think this pass rush has been pretty good, but if you can get pass rush, that's how the 49ers have built this roster from the beginning since these guys took over. So it makes a lot of sense. Holland Tracy, do you think he'll start over Drake Jackson? I don't think he's going to start over Drake Jackson. I think that at least not right away. And the other piece that makes this interesting is that it's Friday, and there is a possibility that Randy Gregory could be on the field as early as Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see how that all works out. Pass rushers, you line up and you go. There's not a whole lot that you have to teach them in terms of what their responsibilities are. So I could see a situation where they get some packages in for Gregory, if he's healthy, to get out there and get after Dak Prescott and his former Dallas Cowboy teammates on Sunday. So there you go. The breaking news around the San Francisco 49ers is that they have traded for pass rusher Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory, a former Dallas Cowboy, most recently with the Denver Broncos. So this trade goes down with the Denver Broncos. The 49ers sending a 6th round pick in next year's draft. In exchange, they pick up Randy Gregory and a 2024 7th round pick. Good move. And also, like I mentioned, Mike Kliss out of Denver is reporting that the Broncos will be paying a portion, perhaps a large portion, of Gregory's remaining salary in order to help facilitate this trade. So, again, a good move by the San Francisco 49ers. Randy Gregory, a player who brings a little bit of baggage with him, but, sometimes linebacker, these defensive ends will run a little bit hot. Bring him in, see what you got. If it doesn't work out, you're not giving up too much to make this happen. Basically, all you did was move from a 6th to a 7th, and the 49ers have been good in both those rounds either. So I think this is a good move for San Francisco overall. Lucas says, how much money do the Broncos take on? What do you think? I don't know exactly what that number is, but I would say probably, it's got to be half, more than half probably. I'd say probably a good $7 to $8 million of that salary is going to stick with the Denver Broncos. The rest of that coming to the San Francisco 49ers, so just about $2 to $3 million for San Francisco. That seems to make sense. And then their plans for what they're doing in terms of trying to have enough money to roll over for next year and have that salary cap relief a season from now. But again, solid move, I think, for the 49ers. Randy Gregory, a guy who has been successful when he's been healthy. He appears to be healthy now. The 49ers will get him in. They'll get him working with Chris Kosarek. Kosarek has done wonders with these guys. It'll be interesting to see what the next move is for San Francisco in terms of who comes off the roster to make room for Randy Gregory. That's the other piece of this. Did they make that move now, or did they wait until after the game against the Cowboys? But again, Gregory comes in here in 2018. He played 14 games and recorded 6 sacks that season. In 2021, he played 12 games for the Cowboys, 6 sacks in that year. So again, when he's been healthy, he's been able to rack up the sacks. He has 3 sacks over these last 2 years, though, but he's only played in 10 games for the Denver Broncos over that period. So there you have it, 49er fans. Big move for San Francisco today, making that trade. Hans says Larry must be happy. We finally getting some end depth. Yeah, it's an interesting move. Again, get some depth. Get a guy that's a veteran who's shown the ability to get after it. According to Lucas, he says Pro Football Talk reports the Broncos are taking on all the money. Well, I don't know if they can take on all of it because the other team has to have some cap hit. But if they're taking on the vast majority of it or almost all of it, that's even better. You're basically just swapping picks for a guy that might be able to come in and help you out. And there you go. Lucas saying that it's going to be paying him $840,000. Hey, if you can make this deal, that makes a ton of sense. $840,000. You're barely getting into any of that cap space that you had already saved up with the moves that you made before. So Lucas, member of the Toolbox, also a reporter out in the European League of Football, does a great job. He's a fantastic guy here on the channel, helping me out with the numbers, looking and finding that for us. So $840,000 is what Gregory will count against the 49ers this season. You make that move every day of the week. Let's see how it performs and how it plays out from here. We'll see. We'll find out shortly. Kyle Shanahan will be coming to the podium in Santa Clara. He'll be talking to the media there. We'll find out more on where Randy Gregory is. And, like I always say, I think this is a good move for the 49ers, especially because it's a flyer. You're taking a shot on a guy. It might not pan out, but if it doesn't pan out, you're not losing much. So a super chat really quick coming in from GR Gracie. Would Denver have been on the hook for his whole contract if they cut him? Yes, they would have been on the hook for everything. That's why the way that this all worked out for the 49ers, it's a good move for Denver. They get a little bit higher pick. The 49ers get a good pass rusher. So there you have it, everybody. Take it for what it's worth. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you can do me a favor, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And last but not least, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the updates right here on Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. We'll be back as more news comes on this, and I'll definitely be back this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So check us out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you.